Welcome to the Kingdom of Bahrain and home for national airline Gulf Air. Now Gulf Air have a vision to become the regional airline of choice for the Middle East, but they face some pretty stiff competition. So today I'm going to try the airline for myself as I fly on board their Airbus A320 down to Dubai. Why not join me? And welcome to Edgington Airborne. Let's get going.
Bahrain International was established in the 1920s and is the Arabian Gulf's oldest airport. There's just the one terminal at Bahrain International and it was very quiet during my visit, so finding the Gulf Air check-in desks was very simple. Before I knew it, I had my boarding pass in hand and was headed airside to check out the passenger experience. Bahrain International won Best Middle Eastern Airport in the 2010 Skytrax Awards, but things have moved on in the region since then. The departures area is clean and functional, but I didn't find the selection of shops and restaurants to be all that impressive, particularly as several were closed. The good news is that a modern terminal is due to open very soon, which is designed to improve the passenger experience, and I look forward to visiting in future. I really do hope that it has the same great views of the aircraft.
So that's my time in Bahrain coming to an end. The airport itself, well, it's not bad, but it's certainly not one of my favourites either. But now's the time to make our way on board the aircraft and fly down to Dubai.
Despite being one of the older airlines in the Middle East, Gulf Air's operations are rather modest compared to the likes of Emirates and Qatar Airways, with a fleet of just 34 aircraft serving around 50 destinations. The airline uses the modern 787 Dreamliner for long-haul routes, but the majority of flights are on board A320 family aircraft, such as the one that I'm on board. Very shortly we'll look at the in-flight experience, but as always, let's begin with the price. Gulf Air operates several flights between Bahrain and Dubai daily, and a quick search online offered fares from 44 Bahraini dinar, which is about £91, and this includes both cabin and checked baggage based on the lowest economy fare, and Gulf Air also do offer business class on board. But as regular viewers will know, this channel is all about economy class, so let's see what it's like flying with Gulf Air for the majority of passengers. And if you fly on the A320, you'll find 136 seats on board, 120 of which are back in economy. The cabin design is fairly standard for this type of aircraft and offers both reading lights and air vents for all passengers, and of course storage for bags is provided in the overhead lockers. There were a couple of nice additions from Gulf Air though, such as the pillow found on each seat during boarding, and in-flight entertainment, which isn't common on narrow-body jets back home in Europe, and it's certainly a plus in my book. Given the age of the aircraft, the cabin was in decent condition overall, but there was a little wear and tear starting to show in places. Now if you watched last week's Cathay Pacific review, you'll know that on this route they provide a complimentary drink in economy, but credit to Gulf Air who go even further for their passengers. The crew handed out cups of water and a free snack, which on this occasion was a choice of either a chicken or vegetable sandwich. The sandwich isn't going to go down as one of the best I've ever tasted, but it's definitely a positive on such a short flight.
We're about halfway to Dubai now, so let's take a look at the seat that you could expect to find on the Gulf Air A320.
Like many airlines, Gulf Air charge for seat selection before departure, and the more expensive seats are found on the exit rows or toward the front of the aircraft. If you're happy to sit near the back of the plane, then the fee is 1 dinar, which is about £2, so not at all expensive. The seats are the same throughout the cabin, so let's see what you can expect on your next Gulf Air flight. And we'll get things started at the top of the seat. As you saw earlier in the video, this is where you'll find the entertainment system. As I mentioned earlier, it's a really nice feature on board a narrow-body aircraft to have. To the right of the screen is a coat hook, which is also nice to have, but I'm not sure how much use this will get here in the Middle East. The tray table provides more than enough room for the free snacks provided by the crew, and also features a space for your drink on the right, as well as some adjustment for younger or slimmer passengers than myself. Now we'll move to the bottom of the seat, which is where you can find quite a generous literature pocket. This offers space for the A320 safety card and the Gulf Air in-flight shopping guide, while still leaving enough room for your personal items if you need it. And finally, let's look at how much legroom Gulf Air provide, and I have to say I was impressed. I definitely had enough room to stretch out and would have no issues on a longer flight. One thing to mention about the seat though is that the electronics box for the entertainment system does impact floor space a little, but the seat features an adjustable headrest and is nicely padded, so all in all is very comfortable. I've mentioned the entertainment system a couple of times, but now let's take a look at what's on offer from the in-flight Falcon Entertainment. The system can be controlled either by using the touchscreen function or the handset, which is stowed in your armrest, and while this is by no means the latest technology available, the screen does provide decent picture quality. The choice of content includes a selection of well-known movies as well as a range of shorter shows, some of which feature multiple episodes. I'm also pleased to say that Gulf Air passed my music test by providing me with my Foo Fighters fix at 25,000 feet, and although it wasn't interactive, I'm always a big fan of an in-flight map, which does show that we're getting rather close to Dubai. And before landing, let me remind you that if you want to follow my travels as they happen or keep up to date with the latest channel news, then you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget, subscribe here on YouTube so you never miss a video.
Pretty quick flight today. We're making our final descent into Dubai now. Do stick around to the end of the video for my final thoughts, but for now, enjoy the views.
So there we are, welcome to Dubai after that flight with Gulf Air. I'm at my hotel now after the trip, and this of course is where I'll share with you my final thoughts on the journey, starting off at Bahrain International Airport. And as I mentioned earlier on in the video, it's certainly not my favourite. It's not a terrible airport by any stretch of the imagination, but it's certainly not class leading for me. The facilities, there's a few shops, mainly duty free areas, and not a lot else to go for. Same goes with the restaurants. There's a couple of small restaurants, McDonald's, and a couple of cafes, but a lot of them are closed, so that was a little bit disappointing. And I'd say that overall, if I did have a long layover in Bahrain, I'd be pretty bored after quite a short period of time, so do bear that in mind. And then we come to the flight itself, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, Gulf Air, one of their visions is to become the leading carrier for regional flights in the Middle East. In my opinion, they've got a bit of a way to go. Now, they're not bad by any means, but we'll look at a few areas today, starting off with the aircraft. Now, the seat itself was very, very comfortable. It had a really good amount of legroom, and the padding was nice. It also was nice to have an adjustable headrest too. But you'd have noticed that the entertainment box underneath the seat did impact on the legroom a little bit. And speaking of the entertainment, while it was lovely to have it, the responsiveness of the screen was pretty poor in my opinion. I also found the cabin to be a little bit dirty, a little bit grubby in some places. You may have picked up on that in some of the footage, but it really could have done with a really nice deep clean. What was a positive was the fact that we had a free snack and drink on board. I had the chicken sandwich and a cup of water, and it was a lovely gesture, but again, the sandwich, it was very bland. It wasn't really that tasty, so that was a little bit disappointing. If they're going to do it, put a bit more effort into it, I'd say, or don't do it at all. The cabin crew, they were very professional, very friendly. It was a mixed cabin crew today from different backgrounds, and they brought their own dynamic into the cabin, but I would say overall they did work very, very hard, so big thumbs up to them. And of course the flight arrived on time, so generally it wasn't a bad flight. As I said, I got there in decent comfort, on time. You can't moan too much. But again, are they the best airline in the Middle East for regional flights? I'm not too sure. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you've flown with Gulf Air before, I'd love to hear from you. And if you've enjoyed this video today, please do leave me a thumbs up, leave me a like, and of course, if you're new around to the channel, do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a future video. And as always, take care.